So recently in Tamil Nadu, we had that drug bust, and it was a film producer, a DMK member, right, Jafar Sadiq, who was behind this whole thing. Um, it was a synthetically created drug, right? And I think it doesn't have a smell, it doesn't have taste, it was put into food and exported. But maybe because of your medical background, can you give us a view into how bad this really is?
Absolutely. Now, this is a problem that I'm really scared about, really scared about, because as doctors, if somebody is an alcoholic, on an average, when you get an alcoholic into a de-addiction program, your success rate is about 30%. This is a broad thumb rule. With drugs, it's 10% or less. So before someone becomes a drug addict, that's the time you need to get to them and cut it and stop it. That first 2-3 months when they become addicted, number one. Number two, the drugs are divided broadly into natural drugs like ganja, classic, or second step is semi-synthetic, partly made, and then purely synthetic drugs. Third layer, this pseudoephedrine is the base, ground base from which methamphetamine is one of the highest level of synthesized drugs. So why are we worried about synthetic drugs? We are worried about synthetic drugs because these drugs are artificially created with those chemicals that will go and sit inside your brain receptors. And the more synthetic a drug is, the higher the high and the more the addiction. So if ganja may take years and years and months to years, and many people will never be addicted to ganja. But semi-synthetic drug, the addiction is much higher. And a pure synthetic drug, this drug is a killer. It's being manufactured to completely take over your brain and make you into a creature that craves for that chemical over and over again. You cannot find another example of artificially created, taking over of the brain. And doctors are helpless once you get an addict on your hands. I want to tell people, go to Punjab and see what's happening in Punjab. Many patients are just cramming the corridors of hospitals. Many surgical hospitals of my friends in Punjab are being converted into de-addiction centers. You just you stumble and knock your head. In Tamil Nadu, you'll find fertility center. Same thing in Punjab, you stumble and knock your head, you will get de-addiction center. There's no fertility centers. People are too busy getting high on drugs to bother about having children. And Punjab is in a very, very dangerous state. We do not want Tamil Nadu to become another Punjab. I feel my heart bleeds for Punjab. And I wish I could do lots about it. Given a time and place, I would like to do things for Punjab too. The problem with Punjab is they're across the border from Pakistan. And our enemies get drugs across. It's a perfect way of killing the enemy, of destroying his youth, making his youth addicts. Not only are you making the enemy's youth addicts, they are paying cash for it, and that cash is being used to fuel terrorism. And when the BJP goes against that, they say BJP is against farmers, they say BJP is against the nation. These people like Jafar Sadiq who are peddling in the drugs, I ask you, will he allow his children to take the drugs? Will he allow his family members to take the drugs? They won't. Most of you must go back and read one of the last words of Pablo Escobar, one of the greatest Colombian drug lords. The only thing he used to keep telling his son over and over again every day is, you never touch drugs, never touch drugs. It was okay that lakhs and lakhs of children all over the world could become drug addicts and die, but Pablo Escobar's son should not take drugs. This kind of cruel dual standards, that's the same kind of dual standards that people like Jafar Sadiq have been showing. So Tamil Nadu has been the center of accessing the pseudoephedrine and sending it up to Delhi, where it's being packed in containers. It was being packed and sent in shipments to New Zealand, Australia, etc.
We talked about only the export part of it, but what's really happening within the state? I mean, that part I don't think has been covered, right?
You're absolutely right. What actually pisses me off, to use that colloquial term, is it took the Australian and New Zealand police and Narcotics Bureau to inform our Narcotics Bureau to activate Interpol before it could come. And I've said this in several interviews, and people think I'm just attacking the DMK. I'm genuinely anguished. I'm upset, angry that our police, and I know the Tamil Nadu police are among the best in the country.
Yes.
I know so many of the DGPs and ADGPs over the years very personally, and I can tell you, top class officers. Indeed, I was very happy in 2022 when Mahesh Kumar Agarwal, when Police Commissioner was, I think, Shankar Jewal, and there was also an interview from Mr. Asra Garg, who's now Additional Commissioner North. They disposed, sister, 1 ton of ganja, 1,000 plus kilograms. They put it in a private incinerator and burnt it. Of course, the neighboring area must have been high for a day or two.
Or more longer.
He's joking. But they burnt it. I was very happy. So you're burning the base natural drug, but you allowed the semi-synthetic and the synthetic drug to come in. And it makes me, I'm not accusing the DMK. But I'm saying this happened under their watch. The DMK is supposed to safeguard us from 21 to 26.
Right.
The police is supposed to safeguard us. Under their watch, they've allowed a man to slip in, and he's put all sorts of photographs. He's with the DGP, he's with the CM, he's with the CM's son. Another thing that worries me is a lot of DMK people in their social media quickly took down the photographs with him. There is a statement in the Bible that says, it is only the guilty that flee when unpursued. They're not pursued, but they flee. Then you know that's a fellow who's come into the crowd. So it makes me wonder why they so quickly disconnected any photographic connection with this guy on the social media. And I think Mr. Dorimurgan came out, the law minister, and quickly said, we are expelling him from the party. All that is okay. But have you, at last they've arrested him after a big gap.
Yes.
Why have you not brought the rest of the chain?
Yes.
And under our eyes in Kallakurchi, they caught candy being stuffed in with ganja. In Thoothukudi, they've caught so much of ganja. What they did until 2022, there seems to be a lapse. I went through all the data. Brilliant work from 21 to 22. Actually, I must congratulate Mr. Stalin. BJP, he's congratulated. Good job. When somebody does a good job for our children, whichever party it is, you must clap. And they have talked to 74 lakh, Mr. Stalin talked to 74 lakh students and told them to say no to drugs. Yanakku Vendam, they started a program. What I'm saying is, what happened between 22 and 24? Why was there so much of passage of semi-synthetic drugs? Why was the Gujarat, off the coast of Gujarat, there was a shipment caught? And when I asked those guys, what I'm very angry about is, all this, that cargo had Pakistan stamps.
Yes.
For me, Pakistan is, my blood starts, temperature goes up, BP goes up, pulse goes up. I'm very frank. Pakistan shipped cargo. And they said, where is it going? It's going to Trichy. That hurt me. That means from there it's coming to Tamil Nadu. And many of these people in the social media, they're saying, they caught near Gujarat, so arrest Modi. Modi is the man. Ridiculous. Rubbish. They caught it offshore near Gujarat. So if they caught it near Maharashtra, you'll say arrest Maharashtra CM. If they caught it near Kerala, it's coming to Trichy. You catch the problem, find the problem in Trichy. And I believe that all these points, Kallakurchi, Thoothukudi, catching off the coast of Gujarat, catching in Delhi, 45 shipments, all these things are worrying. I talked to a number of people, and I'm going to say one last thing that is frightening me and should frighten parents. These new synthetic drugs are being made. When we were children, the drugs they used to inject themselves, 3-6 months overdose, they will die.
Okay.
These new synthetic drugs, parents must listen carefully. They are manufactured to not kill, but to keep the chap within the thrall, within the ties, within the tie, within the bonds of the drug, so that they will always be taking the drug. It will not kill them, but it causes a complete depersonalization. You will know your son talking to you, smiling, laugh. He becomes just wearing this headphones, wearing some dum electronic dance music or trance music or something. His work, a little bit of his work, he doesn't care about the life, and his drug. The drug replaces the spouse, replaces the parents, replaces the country, replaces the state. It's just he and his drug. Now this is done with the synthetic drug, and that synthetic drug is methamphetamine. And pseudoephedrine, which Jafar Sadiq of the DMK earlier, NRI wing, was shipping out, was creating this kind of drug that will just hold people in that permanently knocked out fashion. Quickly, one last thing. I am very, very strong against people who do violence against women. If allowed, one day I will sound my voice in parliament to say, let us give the death penalty to everybody who rapes a child. If you ask me, even for all rape, you should give death penalty. That's the only good thing about Sharia law. I lived in Dubai for 4 years and I have seen so many heads roll in Saudi when they did a rape. That's the greatest deterrent. Recently, 10, 15 days ago, 20 days ago, a child,
9-year-old child, yes.
9-year-old child called Aarti in Pondicherry was
Yes.
raped by 6 guys who then gagged her and bound her and dumped her like a used popcorn rag, like a used popcorn plastic. And there was evidence of liquor around that. See, I want to say this depersonalization, where a man becomes a beast, loses any inhibition, becomes just a beast in the jungle. Might is right, he has to get rid of his carnal impulses. That happens when that inhibition is knocked off, either by alcohol or drugs, or worse, combination of both. There is reason to suspect that alcohol and drugs both played an important part in Aarti's rape and murder. How many more Aartis are we going to have? How many more Aartis before we bring the death sentence for people who rape children? How many more Aartis before we ban drugs totally and implement the banning of drugs? There's a fabulous narcotic banned substances act of 1985, which gives 10 years minimum, 20 years for people who peddle it. Let me see Jafar Sadiq in jail for 10 years or 20 years. Don't let him out for Nehru's birthday or Gandhi's birthday or Ambedkar's birthday or Subhash Chandra Bose's birthday. Make sure that these animals, not animals, animals are nice. These guys are monsters. Yes. These monsters who kill children directly or indirectly. If you ask me, every drug peddler in Tamil Nadu, including Jafar Sadiq, is to blame for Aarti's rape and murder. And I believe that every parent must wake up. Let us not be selfish, so selfish that we only wake up when it happens to us. Let us weep for Aarti's parents. Let us boil our blood for Aarti's parents. Let us show that outrage for Aarti's parents. If it's a BJP government in Tamil Nadu, I would have yelled. If it's the DMK government, it is the DMK, I'm yelling. If it is the ADMK government, I would have yelled. If it is a Congress government, I would have yelled. This is beyond politics. It's about our children. It's about our future. Every man is working day and night for his future, for his children. And if those children are going to get raped, if those children are going to get killed, or if they're going to become drug addicts, will we be quiet? No. All parents, all children must wake up and say yes to voting, especially 18 and above, and say no to drugs.
Well said, sir.